Israel, does that mean that he puts Israel first?
Well, I mean, Israel's an actual ally. Ukraine's not.
But does it mean he's placing Israel first because of the amount of money that he's giving to them? And
Oh no, I mean
obviously I disagree with
we
that, but let's
have
just try to stay
we
on the
have
base
property
bones here.
there. We have property in Israel. So yeah, we need to protect Israel. But Ukraine, we
We
don't.
need
I
to
mean,
protect Israel.
yeah, we have the embassy there. So like, why the hell? We need
Okay,
to.
I'm just trying to. So, do you support Donald Trump's plan to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip?
When did he say that?
Yeah, he said that he wants to own it, forcefully relocate all the Palestinians to Egypt and Jordan, level it all, then rebuild it, including 50-foot gold statues of himself.
I do think he should rebuild it. I think it'd be a lot better because it's a disaster right now. I mean, I think that, if everybody could like move somewhere else temporarily and then we go in there and clean it out, get all the
Okay, so
buildings
so you
out.
don't so you think that sometimes ethnic cleansing is okay?
I'm not talking about like, what you're
Well,
talking. I'm talking about
that's
removing.
what I asked you about because his plan to rebuild it requires ethnic cleansing. So is ethnic cleansing
When
sometimes
did he
okay?
say ethnic cleansing? When did he say that term?
He's never used that term, but the plan that he laid out fulfills the criteria of ethnic cleansing.
Wait, what plan?
Yeah, the plan to forcefully relocate all the Palestinians living on the Gaza Strip to elsewhere, claiming the land, claiming ownership, flattening, leveling it, and then quote unquote rebuilding it for Israel. And I would like to clarify here: are you telling me that he need to specifically call it ethnic cleansing for it to be ethnic cleansing? And if so, can you please give me a quote of Hitler calling the Holocaust a genocide?
I don't know what you're talking about ethnic cleansing. I never heard Trump say that before.
Well, because he's never called it ethnic cleansing, but
Yeah,
his
so like,
plan is ethnic cleansing. Yeah, really hard to grasp there, bud. Are you having problems
yeah, well, I
understanding
mean,
the
if you
words that are
never
coming out
know
of my
what I'm
mouth?
saying is like, if he never said that, I think you're making stuff up, dude. Like, he never said that. And so I think that what he's talking about is moving them to another place temporarily so that we can rebuild the strip and
Okay,
then
can
move
you
those
please
people
give me an
back in.
example, or a source or demonstration of Hitler calling the Holocaust a genocide?
I don't know if he did or not.
So does that mean that it wasn't a genocide?
It was a genocide, absolutely.
So Hitler's like plan and the plan that he
I don't.
executed upon insofar as it related to the Holocaust wasn't a genocide because he called it a genocide, but it was rather a genocide because of what the plan entailed, such as the killing of 12 million individuals. And in the conceptual relation here is the reason why I think Donald Trump's plan for the Gaza Strip is ethnic cleansing is because it fulfills all necessary criteria of the definition of ethnic cleansing, not because he's called it ethnic cleansing.
Right, but what I'm saying is I don't think that Trump is talking about genocide in this situation. He's talking about moving these people temporarily so that we can rebuild the strip and then move them back into a better place. Like, how is that genocide?
So once again, I'm calling it ethnic cleansing, okay? And you're gonna ask me how that's ethnic cleansing. What I want you to do, I want you to go on pause. I want you to Google ethnic cleansing definition, and then I want you to come back and apologize to me with at
Okay,
least 5 tears and one ukulele.
hold up 1 second.
Got to treat these people like absolute children, man. Literally, like kids, like actual unironic kids. Okay. For the 3.2 thousand people watching the TikTok stream, welcome back in, you guys. It's good to see you all here today. Make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen and sharing this live out with a handful of friends. Good to see you all. Then, yeah, just by the way, like, yeah, I know that this guy's saying that he's doing it to the Palestinians temporarily, which is not true. He actually said that it would be the permanent relocation. But even if it was temporary, it still like fulfills the definition of ethnic cleansing. So, are you ready to
How is
apologize yet?
that ethnic cleansing? I think I was talking about, we
So
were
why don't you
talking
go
about
ahead
it
and
in,
repeat to me the
no, we were
definition of ethnic
talking
cleansing you
about it
saw
in
on
the
Google?
context of genocide.
Why don't you go ahead and repeat to me the definition of ethnic cleansing you read off of Google? Short-term memory is really poor within this guest.
The mass expulsion or killing of members from a community.
Well, you're pretty close. And phenomenal because that is the plan that Trump has for the Palestinians. So he wants to expel the 1.4 million Palestinians on the Gaza Strip to off the Gaza Strip, meaning in accordance with the definition of ethnic cleansing that you just read to us. Do I need to connect the dots?
Yeah, but we're talking about it in a different context. You're comparing Trump to Hitler, and it's not even comparable.
Okay, how the fuck? For you
Dude,
define ethnic. Just listen to me real quick. You define ethnic cleansing. You tell me that the definition of ethnic cleansing is the mass expulsion of a group of people from an area to outside of that area, right?
yes.
So if Trump wanted to do a mass expulsion of a group of people from an area to outside that area, does that mean that Trump wants to ethnically cleanse that area?
If you're going by the definition of it, then sure, but we were talking
Okay.
about it
Oh,
in a different
okay. Oh,
context.
okay. So
No,
we
we're
just
talking about
agreed.
it.
We
You
just
just compared
agreed.
Trump to Hitler.
Thank you. So the comparison that I gave you was insofar as a response to your argument that because Donald Trump hasn't called it ethnic cleansing, it is an ethnic cleansing. Okay. And I believe when we're talking about things such as ethnic cleansing, genocide, etc., the committer doesn't need to refer to their plan using said language for it to qualify as said language. And my relation to Hitler never calling the Holocaust a genocide was a demonstration of that point. So that logical comparison was nothing more than a response to one of the points that you've made. Okay, but now moving on to the point that we're on right now, right? You just said, sure, if Donald Trump wanted to do a mass expulsion of a group of people from an area to another area, that means that Donald Trump wants to ethnically cleanse. And seemingly, like, we agreed that Trump's plan is to expel 1.4 million Palestinians from the Gaza Strip to outside of the Gaza Strip, meaning that in accordance with the definition of ethnic cleansing that you gave me, Donald Trump wants to ethnically cleanse, yeah?
Sure, if you're going by the just literal definition of it on Google. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we all
And
know
is
that's I
ethnic
mean,
cleansing always wrong?
huh?
Is ethnic cleansing always wrong?
No, I don't think it's always wrong.
Okay, so you support ethnic cleansing.
I mean, if you're going by the definition on Google, I mean, the first part of it,
So
if you're
I
like,
just want to clarify that you support ethnic cleansing, right? You support ethnic cleansing
I
sometimes.
don't support genocide. If that's what you're asking, no, I don't support genocide.
No, I asked you if you support ethnic cleansing.
If you're going by the first part of it, then yes.
Okay, I don't
If
know.
it, if
Maybe
it's
this
for a
is
good reason, no, if it's for a good reason, like to rebuild the
okay.
Gaza Strip,
So
then
so
yeah.
do you recognize that ethnic cleansing is like a violation of individuals' human rights? Like to forcefully like expel somebody from one area to another area is going to be violating their human right to self-determination. Can you contest that?
No, I think it's going to help these people a
Well,
lot.
I'm not asking you about the moral ramifications of said human rights violation. I think it's just first principally important for us to agree that it is violating said right. So can we agree that
No,
ethnic cleansing is is violation of one's human right to self-determination?
I don't. No, I don't agree with that.
Okay, so I want to clarify. If I knocked on your door and I put you and your whole family in the back of a pickup truck and put a blindfold over your face and expelled you to another area without your consent outside of your control, I would not be violating your human rights?
If it's for a good reason, such as if there's a murderer in the house that's holding me hostage, then yeah, because Hamas is holding these people hostage, and if you're like trying to get in there to get me out of the house, then yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that if Donald Trump doesn't ethnically cleanse them, they'll all die.
I mean, they're in a very bad position right now with Hamas, so yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
there's a good.
Did you know that? Did you know that? First of all, to say that it's Hamas that is threatening the lives of the Palestinians is like so purely blatantly incorrect. It's funny how you never want to mention the IDF or the state of Israel. Now, I would also like to ask you the follow-up question. All that you're essentially telling us right now is that you're okay with human rights violations, given that it's for a good reason.
I didn't
If
say
we were
that.
alive, yes, you did. So if we were alive before the Civil War, you'd be a Confederate. Would you like to know why?
What? Yeah, why?
The most popularized argument for slavery in the American South was that if the plantation owners did not enslave the Africans in America at said time, the living conditions of said Africans would be significantly worse. No one would be willing to hire them. They wouldn't have a job, therefore, they wouldn't have shelter, food, clothing, or water. And for that reason, the enslavement of Africans was justified in accordance with said argument that was granted by the Confederacy. Now,
That's
what's
kind
the
of a
difference
ridiculous
between
comparison.
the Confederacy's argument that slavery was okay because if they didn't enslave Africans at said time, their conditions would have been worse, and your argument that ethnic cleansing is okay for the Palestinians because if he doesn't ethnically cleanse them, their living conditions would be worse?
That's a pretty stupid comparison. Look, they're both
Well, tell
terrorist
me.
groups.
So I'm asking you to like tell me what the
The
difference is between those two arguments. Just merely calling it stupid is
Yeah,
demonstrating that
well,
your
if
IQ is
you'll let me
probably around 30.
explain for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. I just
Um,
want to clarify what I want you to explain is the difference between the argument that I just described to you that came from the Confederacy and the argument that you're giving me today here right now on this live.
yeah, the Confederacy groups and Hamas are both terrorist groups, and they both hold people hostage. And I think that Trump just wants to get these people out so that they can rebuild and give them a better home.
Okay.
Uh,
Have you ever like critically thought in your life? Because critical thought would like lead you to the conclusion that you're actually not answering my question. So do I need to repeat the question? Because I don't think Hamas was factored into my question at all. So let me just
well,
go ahead and repeat the
are
question
you just
because
denying the reality that Hamas exists?
I'm denying that you're answering my question. Okay. And I'm more than willing to allow you to
Well,
make whatever points that you want
I'm
after
not
you
going to
answer my
play into the
question.
hypothetical because
Oh,
you're
yeah,
giving.
okay. So all that
Well,
you're
no, you're
telling me
giving a
is that I've
ridiculous
beat you,
comparison to the
and I'm
Confederate.
asking you to qualify why it's ridiculous comparison. When
I
anybody
just told
comes
you
on
why it's
my
a ridiculous
live
comparison, dude.
and makes a comparison with the use of an analogy in which I believe to be false, I can explain why it's ridiculous. And that's what you're supposed to do. Give me the relevant distinction between the Confederacy arguments that slavery was good for the enslaved Africans due to the fact if they weren't enslaved, their living conditions would have been worse, and your argument that ethnically cleansing the Palestinians will be good for the Palestinians because if he didn't ethnically cleanse them, their living conditions would be worse. Tell me
The
the
Pal- can
logical
I?
distinction between those two arguments.
The Palestinians are enslaved right now. They're enslaved right now by Hamas, and Trump wants to get these people out. Trump is like Abraham Lincoln in this situation. He's trying to get these people out so that he can rebuild and give them a better life. So I mean, look, you're just making ridiculous comparisons. You're comparing the Confederacy and you're comparing Hamas, and I think it's kind of ridiculous what you're saying because Trump, he's trying to get these people out of there and set them free, and I mean, I guess you support Hamas, don't you?
No, I don't support Hamas, but I also don't support like the incredibly bigoted propaganda that you're just spewing out of your mouth right now. Like it's just so fucking sad that we live in a time where 15-year-olds like there's no way that you aren't 15. I'm sorry if you're over the age of 18, you fucking failed in life. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like seriously, if you have these thoughts, if you have this little like critical thought existing in your prefrontal cortex as an adult I am like seriously concerned for your future. So I'm just
I'm
gonna
probably older
assume,
than you.
which is so fucking sad. But what I want to do here is I just want to go ahead and pass the mic off to Athena. So Athena, please
Hi,
welcome into the
Dean.
live
Oh, so you
and
don't
take
want
it
to
away.
debate me anymore?
Thank you. No, I had a question for
I
you.
would prefer Athena to debate you.
Okay, so we're going two
Yeah.
on one now. Great.
No, it's a one-on-one. I want Athena to talk to you.
Okay, well then I
Yeah.
don't want you to jump in. So go ahead. All right,
Yeah.
bet.
Hi, Dean, by the way.
Howdy.
Yeah, so do you think we should ethnically cleanse Israel because they have hostages too?
Yeah, if they have hostages, then yeah, we need to get those hostages out.
Yeah, you know that they have like over 10,000 Palestinian hostages in Israel, including children?
Yeah, get those people out. Get everybody out. Get everybody back home. That's what we want.
So why isn't Trump advocating for the ethnic cleansing of Israelis?
I think he is.
Wait.
No, he didn't.
Wait. You said get everybody back home. That's what we want. Those 1.4 million Palestinians, where is their home?
Their home is in Palestine.
I mean, technically, their home is in occupied Palestine because 80% of Gaza are refugees. So if you're basically advocating for the right of return for Palestinians, per WU, you're progressive, right? Are you advocating for the right of return for Palestinians
Trump
to
wants
occupied
everybody.
Palestine?
Trump wants everybody in that situation back home. He wants the Palestinians back.
Yeah, but you
He
know
wants
that
the Israelis back. He
Yeah,
wants
but you know
everybody
that
back.
but you know that the Palestinians would then have to go to what is today Israel. Because the 80% of people who live in Gaza were ethnically cleansed from what is now today Israel. Did you know that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying
You can't
80%.
understand that. You can't
80% of the population in Gaza are refugees who were ethnically cleansed from occupied Palestine, which is basically what is today Israel. So if you're saying everybody should go home, do you also suggest that the 80% of the Gazan population should go back to their homeland, their ancestral land in what is now Israel?
If that's their home, then yeah.
Do you think Trump wants that?
I think he does. I think he got him. First of all, he got the deal done a few months ago.
I'm sorry, but like, you understand that you're saying Trump wants people to go back to their home, and that the Palestinians' home is Palestine, which would include modern day Israel and the Gaza Strip where he wants to remove them from.
Oh, they could also
Right?
go to the West Bank.
He wants to move them to Egypt and Jordan. Do you think their home's in Egypt and Jordan?
I think they can go there. I think that
But you just told me that he wanted to make sure that they go to their home. But Donald Trump wants to relocate the Palestinians to Egypt
But
and
yeah,
Jordan.
temporarily.
And then
I
give
mean,
not
no,
temporarily.
no.
No. He wants to give them no right to return. He made that clear in a Fox.
How are you doing? And every motherfucking body that voted for Trump, you're fucking ugly. You ugly ass motherfucking bitch.
All right. Hey, Sav, did you vote for Trump?
Hey, I just wanted to ask a quick question. What were your thoughts on...
Sorry, Sav. Ella, did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did. Hi.
Ella, how old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2006.
Okay, so far we're good, but just one last question here. On the road driving, what does a solid yellow line next to a dotted yellow line mean? Yeah, they were filtered out. They were filtered out. They left. What's up, Don Real? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
22.
What does a solid yellow line next to a dotted yellow line mean? They left too. Oh, come on. I'm innovating. We are finding new ways to weed out the fetuses.
Yo,
What's up, Miami Max? You voted for Trump. You're from Miami. You got that one right?
I'm not from Miami, but yeah, I did vote for Trump.
Why'd you do that?
I just believe that he could. Well, my main purpose was believing that he could stop the war.
What war?
Ukraine.
Got it. So you're pretty anti-war. How do you
Yeah.
feel about Donald Trump saying that he might possibly deploy the military in Greenland to annex it, which would start a war between America and Europe, which would essentially be World War III?
I don't think it would escalate to that point simply because Europe depends on our dollar.
Europe has already said that they would do this. In
I
fact,
don't-
France has already deployed troops in Greenland.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll
Not
escalate.
to mention
war.
that that's a NATO country, so they would be required to under what is it, Article 4?
Yeah, but we're a NATO country too. I don't think NATO countries are going to fight each other.
Okay, with what reason? I feel like you're the one with the burden of proof here to demonstrate that you don't think this is something Europe would do, as Europe has already said that they would do this. France has already deployed some troops, and under Article 4 of
No, yeah, I mean, I
the
can
NATO
understand.
agreement, they'd be required to. So when you just say, and by the way, like Trump and Elon want us to leave NATO, so this only makes your position worse.
No, yeah, I understand that, but we are currently in NATO. So until we are out of NATO, I don't think a war is going to start between two NATO countries. So
Okay, well, I actually don't see any reason for you to believe that. I feel like that's baseless on its own. But you know,
Well,
with
it has
Elon
to-
Musk and
what-
Donald Trump saying they want to leave NATO and then possibly use their military to invade Greenland,
when did they say they
that's a
wanted?
pretty.
When when did they say they wanted to leave NATO? Sorry, I'm drinking water.
Yeah, today and yesterday,
What was the exact statement?
that Donald Trump thinks that America should leave NATO.
Did you see him saying that,
I mean, he's been talking.
or was
about,
it on a left wing news media coverage that you seen?
How about I just get you source, man? How about that?
That's fine, because the same thing happened with Zelensky.
Yep.
Right
So
after,
this is
right after
December
the-
8th. Just look up. Trump says he will absolutely consider leaving NATO.
Consider.
Yeah, and then this is from last year, July 1st, saying from Politico, saying Trump's plan for NATO is emerging. As well as we have a fact check from way back in 2016 when he said he felt like we should pull out of NATO then. And 5 hours ago, where Elon Musk says that the U.S. should leave NATO and the United Nations.
Well, I would have to see them say it word for word verbatim. I don't
This was
believe.
literally a tweet on his account. I'm so sorry if you keep acting like this. I'm gonna kick you. Like you're obviously being like intentionally dense because you're losing this debate.
I'm just saying that I haven't seen it. So once I see it, I will agree with you.
Elon Musk tweeted it out.
Okay, like I said, once I see it, I will agree with you. But based on what I'm,
so why won't you accept my source?
I mean, I'll accept it for now. Sure. If you want me to concede to that, I'll accept it for now. But
sorry, man, I'm just gonna kick you. Only reason I'm gonna kick you is just because I know where this debate's gonna go. Like, if it seriously takes me 5 minutes to convince you of that Elon Musk thinks we should leave NATO, even though he like sent a tweet out like earlier today saying it, like that would just been an annoying conversation. That was probably gonna be really bad for my cortisol levels. What's going on? Did you vote for Trump? All right, they're not here. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Y'all, everybody, just give us a minute. Yo, Claire, thank you for the $10 YouTube super chat. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Claire. Claire says no comment. Well, I appreciate you for the $10. What's going on? Did you vote for Trump?
I did. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right. Now, why did you vote for such a bad candidate?
What do you mean I voted for a bad candidate? It was the better of two evils.
Why is that?
Because he's a better leader than Harris ever would be.
Why do you think that?
Because he's more respected than she is. She does not get respected. What's up, Dean? We just talked yesterday, dude.
Oh yeah, we did talk last night.
So no, let's have a real talk. Like no bullshit. I've got my secondary device. I've got my sources. So let's get it. Let's get a real conversation.
Oh yeah, I'll have fun beating you in a debate.
Okay. Didn't win yesterday.
So I want to clarify. You told us that you voted for Trump
3 times
compared to Kamala Harris this election because he has more respect.
I feel yes, because Harris is not going to be respected from any AU or how should I say this? Countries that do not respect women in like Middle East, Saudi Arabia, they're not going to respect her because they don't even respect their own women. So why would they respect her?
Okay, so you're basically just saying you voted for Trump because he's a man, and you didn't vote for Kamala Harris because she's a woman.
No, I voted.
Does
I voted.
anti-black racism exist on the global stage?
Racism exists everywhere. DEI was racism against white men. It exists on every level.
Okay. Well, obviously, I disagree with your claim that DEI is racism against white men. For whatever reason, you just want to be oppressed. And I don't fucking get it. Why do white men want to be oppressed so badly? I hate the American. I don't hate the American flag. I don't know where that came from.
Said it yesterday.
Do you mind if I finish running my argument here, sir? Thanks, man. So, anyways, you told us that racism does exist. So I have a question. Do you think that individuals should not have voted for Obama when he ran for president, since he's a black man and racism against black individuals exists on the global stage?
So how does racism towards Obama have to do with racism and what we're talking about with this last election? I'm looking at current events, not in the past.
So Apple Glock, I understand you have a small brain, but
okay, well I can't read. I can't read, so there's that.
Really?
I mean, Dean, like I said, I'm trying to understand your talking points, bro, but my IQ doesn't go that low, bro. It doesn't. So you got to break it down Barney style for me.
Okay, well, now I unironically feel bad for saying that. I'm just going to go ahead and run my...
Okay, all right, let's get to it. Okay, so you asked me, do I think if people were racist for not voting for Obama?
Okay, let me explain that point. Let me explain that point. So you told me that you didn't vote for Kamala Harris.
I did not. I never would.
And there's a lot of other countries that are prejudiced against women. Okay. All right. Well, there's also a lot of other countries that are prejudiced against black people. So if your logic would follow, would you say that no one should have voted for Obama in the same way you say that no one should have voted for Kamala Harris?
No, not at all. Because she's the difference is she's a woman. Color, ethnicity has nothing to do with it. She's a woman and she will not be respected on the world stage by other countries that do not respect women.
Same would go for black people. They wouldn't be respected by countries that don't respect black people.
I mean, is there prejudice in the United States? Yes, there is. Prejudice it exists, and if people
that's the analogy here. Do you understand it? Like, there's other countries that wouldn't respect Kamala Harris because of what's in between her legs. Therefore, you don't think anybody should have voted for her.
I mean, I'm not
saying
the
conceptual analogy here is there's other.
I'm not saying that. You asked me a reason why I didn't. You asked me a reason why I didn't vote for her, and I gave you and that's only one of the many reasons I didn't vote for her.
I'm trying to give you an analogy.
I understand what you're saying. I totally get what you're going.
Okay,
where you're going.
break it down. What am I saying?
So what you're trying to get me to say is that, oh, well, because she's a certain color, that you shouldn't vote for her because she's a certain color, or that I'm saying that other countries will not respect her because they're Muslim countries. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm just gonna run this down on you. And plus, by the way, if you just said they won't respect her because they're Muslim predominant countries
that do not respect women. Muslim countries do not respect women. Saudi Arabia, no, they do not.
Okay, so in the same way, parts of the Quran are very misogynist. This would also go for parts of the Christian Bible. So if you're gonna, appeal towards a disdain towards Islam due to misogynistic teaching, I hope that you hold that same energy towards Christianity. Now,
I'm not a Christian.
To get back to what I was saying,
I'm not a Christian, so yes.
You're telling me that there's other countries that want to respect her because she's a woman, meaning that you shouldn't have voted for her.
100%.
So, is there other countries that would not respect a president that's black because they're black?
No, they don't respect her because she's a woman. And that's what I've been saying this whole time.
An analogy that I'm making in relation to
I get what you're saying,
Obama.
but I'm just clarifying my talking point.
Listen, man. Okay, guys, I'm just having a little bit of a hard time here. I'm having a really hard time here. Should I try it again? Oh my God, yo. First of all, Pondering Politics, thank you for the $20 YouTube super chat saying, great work, Dean. Libs and progressive / Dims need to conquer the debate space and you're helping the war effort. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you for that love, Pondering Politics. That's very kind. Thank you for the $20 one moment. Also, Janet, how are we doing today, Janet? Welcome in, Janet, with the $100 YouTube super chat. Another common W, Janet. Thank you so much for the love, Janet. Janet says, come to Fort Collins. I love what you do. Keep it up, sir. Dude, I'm in Boco all the time. I need to head up to Fort Collins. I'd love to go check out CSU, man. That's sick, Janet. I didn't know you're from Fort Collins. Great area, man. I lived in Boco for like 2-3 years. And thank you so much for the $100. I want to see at least 1,000 W Janets in both of the live chats, as well as Trisha with a $5 and Elizabeth with a 5 as well. Okay, so I'm gonna try one last time to explain to you the analogy in which I'm presenting to combat your point here.
Or do you just want to move forward?
I want to try one last time, and if you're unable to
I'll try, but my IQ doesn't go that low, so I'll try.
Okay, man. I'm not gonna make fun of your intelligence. I'm
making fun of yours, not mine. Your comprehension skills are not very high.
I understand that's how you feel, man. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Now to get back to the debate, you told me once again that people shouldn't have voted for Kamala Harris because...
No, I said that's why I didn't vote for her.
All right.
I didn't say people. I said me, as in me, myself, and I.
So you think a good reason to not vote for Kamala Harris is because she's a woman, and why that is the case is because there's other countries that don't respect women.
She would not have been respected.
Overwhelmingly, all that you're telling me here is if a candidate running for a public office such as the presidency possesses a character attribute that other world leaders don't have respect for, you shouldn't vote for them. And in the same way, other world leaders may not respect women. We've agreed that anti-black racism exists on the global stage, meaning that other world leaders may not respect a black leader. So, in the same way, you wouldn't have voted for Kamala Harris for this reason. Should you have not voted for Obama for the same reason? Because he possesses a character attribute that other world leaders would also not hold respect for, and that is found within the fact that he's black.
So again, like I said, he's a man and she's a woman. That's the difference there. That's what I said. Ethnicity has nothing to do with it.
Okay. Well, if you're saying that you wouldn't have considered the fact that other world leaders would have had disrespect for Obama because he's black, why do you consider the fact that other world leaders would have had disrespect for Kamala Harris because she's a woman? Because she's
a woman. If you ever noticed, Harris, when she was VP, never had any trips overseas anywhere. She did nothing in 4 years. She didn't have any foreign trips. Oh, I'm sorry. She went to Central America. Sorry. Okay, I eat that. She went to Central America.
What the fuck?
Hey, cool gift, bro.
I have never seen that gift before. Holy crap.
Cool.
Yo. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Brian, for like the coolest gift. I have literally ever seen. Holy crap. Thank you so much. Everybody, please show some love to Ryan down below in that comment section. That is insane. Thank you so very, very much, Brian. Everybody, please show some love to Brian literally right now. I really do appreciate you so much for that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brian. Real quick, do you think that men are better at leading than women?
I can't agree with that because the world's fucked up, but I just go with no, I do not.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I mean, at this point, I've like thoroughly exhausted.
No, you're good. You're good. I got to get going. Dean, it's always fun talking to you guys, bro. Have a good one, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just, dude, holy fuck. Like, holy shit, man. We're just gonna move on to the next guest. I'm mind blown. I'm mind boggled at, what's up, Venom? Did he vote for Trump? Okay, Venom's not here. We're gonna move on to the next guest literally right now. Everybody just gonna give us a minute. I'm so sorry. That was just like the worst, like most illogical conversation I've ever had with anybody ever. Guys, was my point there like hard to understand? Out of curiosity, I don't know. All right. Go ahead and drop a Maga down below in that live chat if you do want to come up and debate. We're going to go to get our next guest up here literally right now, guys. For the 4.1 thousand people hanging on that TikTok live stream, guys, make sure that we're hopping in that queue if we did vote for Trump. Keep in mind, if you are in that queue, make sure that does indeed mean that you voted for Trump, as we're just looking for some debates here today. And phenomenal. Let's go and get that next guest up in here. What is going on, Pop? Did he vote for Trump?
I did not, no.
All right. Well, then please leave. We're just looking for some debates. We're going to go and get that next guest, Ali, up in the live. Here we go. Phenomenal. Here we go. Next guest is loading in, guys. Make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 500,000 double taps and 1,000 shares. Next guest is loading in right now. If you want to support the stream, feel free to support the stream on PayPal. Where I get 100% of the proceeds, and you can find the link to my PayPal down below in the link tree in my bio. You could also support me over on YouTube Super Chat if you don't have PayPal and you still want to support the stream. BEARJ with the $20 YouTube Super Chat saying his IQ doesn't go lower because it's already at 0. Okay. Thank you for the love, BEARG, with the $20 Super Chat and the funny message as well. Thank you so much for the love. What is going on, guest? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
How do you?
20.
20. Okay. What year were you born in?
2004.
Phenomenal. So why did you vote for Trump?
I voted for him because we need someone who has a lot of strength to show.
Real quick, when you're driving a car, what is a solid yellow line next to a dotted yellow line mean?
I don't drive.
What's a mortgage?
I don't own a house.
Okay, but you did know what a mortgage is. Do you work?
No.
What year did you graduate from high school?
2022.
I have a feeling that this is a 20-year-old.
No doubt about that.
I have I don't know. I don't think that this is a fetus. Okay, what's one thing only an adult would know?
They have to pay taxes when they work.
Okay, I don't know. I think this could be a. Okay, be honest. Are you seriously 20? Because I'll let you stay up here if you're young. Okay.
I'm 20.
Okay.
I'm 20.
Okay. By the way, guys, I was gonna kick them if they said that they were a fetus. I was just baiting them with that. Okay. Why did you vote for Trump?
Well, I voted for Trump because I didn't really like the whole Biden administration because it presented weakness.
Okay. So what specifically about the Biden-Harris administration presented weakness?
Well, just that, they wanted to help everybody they could.
So you think, okay, are you a Christian?
Yeah.
Did Jesus want to help everybody that he could?
Well, I don't really know if Jesus was actually alive.
But
can't prove that.
You just said that you were a Christian.
Well, yeah, that's what I align with.
So if you're a Christian, that means that you believe Jesus was alive.
Well, I believe in what I know for a fact.
So then you wouldn't be a Christian.
Then I guess I wouldn't be a Christian.
I'm so sorry. You're just racking my brain. This is hell for me. Do you guys see what I go through with some of these guests? Do you just... It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It's painful. Hello, Dylan. Did you vote for Trump?
Hell no.
Now hop out. We're gonna get that next guest up in here. Just drop MAGA, a MAGA down below in that comment section if you want to pop up a debate. My brain, man, I'm not having fun right now, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. We're not having a good day so far. Chloe, you vote for Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
That was a lie. I could just hear it in your voice.
That was
Moving on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute for the 4.3 thousand people in the TikTok live stream, guys. Make sure they were double tapped on that phone screen. Here we go. Here we go. Next debate is loading up. I don't know why there's so many fetuses that want to talk to me, okay, man? We're just looking for adults that voted for Trump to come up here and debate. Timmy Tim, you vote for Trump?
How you going?
Doing all right? Did you vote for Trump?
I don't live in America, but I would have. If...
Pop out. Moving on to the next guest. We got Dana loading up in. Jacob, thank you for the $5 YouTube super chat saying, hey, Dean, it may sound weird, but I'm a conservative and I support and voted for Kamala Harris and I have autism and you're doing a good thing. Keep it up, bud. Jacob, I really appreciate you, man. And that's awesome that you support and voted for Kamala Harris. Thank you for the love, Jacob. Dana, what's up? Did you vote for Trump? Dana, hello?
Some guy with a hangover will show up at their house.
No, Dana's not here, so we're going to move on to the next guest. Eric with the $10 YouTube super chat with no message. Thank you for the love. That's very, very kind. Next guest is going to be loading up right now. We got Patrick loading in the box. Here we go. Dana had that MAGA look. She sure did. What is up, Patrick? Did he vote for Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you do that?
I did it.
Okay. Hi. Did you vote for Trump?
Can you have my baby, please?
What?
I mean, Dean, that park. I told you, Dean, can you have my baby?
Oh my God. Goodbye. Hello, Cameron. Did you vote for Trump?
Yo, what's up? Yeah, I did.
All right. Why did you vote for the worst president of your life, man?
I'm usually an independent. I really don't vote. I only vote for something that benefits my people and the Democratic people. The Democratic Party hasn't benefited my people in over 50 years when they're the strongest voting bloc that the Democratic Party has. It's very strange to me that they prioritize LGBTQ and they prioritize other minority groups over their strongest voting bloc. It makes zero sense to me.
Okay. Well, first of all, are you speaking to us through a headset or something? We could barely hear you.
Yeah. Hold on.
All right. While you're taking the headset off, I guess I'll go ahead and start responding to your position because you essentially just told us that you voted for Donald Trump because the Democrat Party has not done enough for Black Americans. So I think that two things can be true simultaneously. I'm actually very sympathetic to the view that the Democrat Party has not done enough for Black Americans in modern American history.
Right.
All the benefit that the Democrat Party has served to Black Americans has been indirectly, and there's been no direct policy influence get passed through Congress by a Democrat administration to benefit, Black Americans. I could agree with that. Now, what I would also like to add on here is, although that is true, it is also the case that Donald Trump and the Republican Party is significantly worse for Black Americans compared to Kamala Harris
How
or
so?
the Democrat Party.
How so? I don't think any party really benefits Black Americans, but I think that Trump, at least he acknowledges us. He acknowledges that we are intertwined with the 14th Amendment. He acknowledges that we are here, unlike the Democratic Party that doesn't acknowledge us at all, or our specific problem in America.
So first of all, the Trump administration's attack on DEI is just the Trump administration attack on Black Americans.
I disagree. I disagree. I don't think DEI.
I think that is literally undeniable. After the Kendrick halftime show, we had half of the conservative voter base on Twitter calling Kendrick Lamar DEI. Meanwhile, he is the most accomplished rap artist in modern American history. I mean, And you know, when Republicans call Kendrick Lamar DEI, all that they're really saying is he's black, and I want to try to find a way to stigmatize him because he's black. And you know, the Trump administration has perpetuated very similar notions as would relate to blaming like the helicopter crash in with the plane on DC as being quote unquote DEI. We don't even know what that means. Just another way to hold minority communities culpable for a bad event occurring. And what
Right.
that has led to, socially speaking, is plenty of conservatives looking at any black individual fulfilling a position, a job, or a role in, you know, the labor force in America today, and they'll just call them DEI because they're black, unrelated to any evidence of a lack of qualification, and that stigmatizes black workers in America to a higher degree than what we've seen prior.
Yeah. Well, I think we should differentiate who's because I think you're trying to lump all conservatives into this little white supremacist kind of box. But I think, are there conservatives that are like very racist, very white supremacist? Yes, but there are some conservatives that are normal people. And I think the use of DEI, it really never affected black people to begin with. It never helped us in any way. It helped white women. It helped immigrant parties. It did not help. Only I think 4% of it helped Black Americans. I mean, when is the last time a black person got hired because he's black? Like, that's not a thing. That doesn't happen.
So what you just told me, some of the things you just told me were true. Like you said that DEI helps white women most, as it would relate to affirmative action and you know, like public institutions of education today. You're right. It serves to the interests of white women the most, and I agree. That's wrong. Like that's not something we should have. I agree that it shouldn't serve to the interests of white women the most. But the second part of your statement that you said that DEI doesn't help black people in America today. I mean, tell Trump that. Like seriously, tell fucking Trump that so he stops going around and blaming everything on DEI, right? Like you know, advocating for this notion that black individuals are culpable for you know, a lack of efficiency and, you know, various labor fields leading to negative outcomes for, you know, the average American. Which
Right.
is, in
I
other
feel like
words, just blaming issues on black people that weren't related to the issue, which is just fucking racism. I mean, and like even beyond like the socialization of the messages that he's perpetuated about DEI, which inevitably just reduces down to more racism to black people. He also cut funding to HBCUs. His tax policy regressively impacts those that make less money more. And when we consider the socioeconomic discrepancies between the average white American and black American caused by slavery and its aftermath, that means that disproportionately impacts black individuals more. He referred to things such as black jobs on the debate stage with Joe Biden. And he literally told people not to vote for Obama because he was a black man. And because he was a black
He
man,
didn't say that.
apparently he was born in Kenya, which meant he was not constitutionally able to run for the presidency, which is the birther myth of Barack Obama that Donald Trump perpetuated from 2011 until 2014. And he's never apologized, hold himself accountable. Not to mention calling for the death penalty for the exonerated Central Park Five 12 years after their exoneration, calling all black people lazy in the 90s, or denying housing applications to black people in the 70s. These are all examples of incredibly racist things that Trump has done and how his policy disproportionately impacts black Americans the most in a negative fashion. And because of these facts, I would say a Democrat Party doing nothing for black Americans, all while not optimal, is better than the Republican Party actively harming black Americans. And I think the appropriate solution to the issues in America as it would relate to treatment of black Americans in the 2024 election would have been a vote for Kamala Harris with advocacy for further communication within the Democrat Party to advocate for more direct policy to benefit black Americans.
Okay. Well, let's look at DEI. Yes, it is used as a derogatory term for black people, but also it could be used for a derogatory term towards women or other minority groups.
Yeah.
So when people say DEI, they're not only talking about black people. I get where you're saying like it could be used as a term for black people. Yes, I agree with that, but it's more of a generalized term if you're just not white. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah. So all that you're telling me is that, you know, the motivations behind the beliefs and propositions set forth by Trump and the MAGA party aren't just racist; they're also sexist, misogynistic, and bigoted towards anybody that is not a straight white man.
And I could agree with that. I never said I liked the Republican Party, but it would have. I just don't see it would have been any different for who I voted for. I mean, Kamala. To your point, you said that Kamala could.
Kamala.
Kamala can like extend our reach through the government. I just disagree. She's not. When I mean Black American, I mean Black people that were born in America, Black people that were victims of the slave trade, the chattel slavery. That's what I mean about Black Americans. Kamala is not a Black American. She is an East Asian woman. She's
Oh
an East
my
Asian.
god.
She's an East Asian woman. She's not Black American.
God. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Well, I want to ask you a question. Do you know what it means to be biracial?
Yeah, of course.
What does it mean to be biracial?
To have two different races in your DNA.
And how does one become biracial?
If their parents have two different races in their DNA.
Phenomenal. Kamala Harris is biracial. Her father is a Black man from Jamaica.
Okay, so
Jamaican. Her mother
was her Black father in her household? Was she raised by her Black father or her East Asian mom?
I'm unaware of the parental structure of her growing up. I'm under the impression that she was raised by both her father as
Her
well as
father
her
wasn't
mother.
there. Her father wasn't there. He was still in Jamaica. Her East Asian mother and her moved to America, and she raised her as a single mother. She was raised as an East Asian lady. I can understand what you're saying. Like, she has melanin in her skin.
I think that not only like is a statement possibly wrong, but I actually think that this perpetuates, you know, a lot of bigotry and prejudice against Black Americans, as it is the case that there is plenty of Black Americans that grew up without a father because of things such as the war on drugs or systemic racism as it would relate to over-policing of Black men in America today. So when you say that Kamala Harris is not Black because she grew up without her father in the household, you are not only directly speaking to her, but also indirectly speaking to plenty of other Black Americans that grew up without a father because of systemic racism.
But Dean, this is what I'm saying. Black American is an ethnic group. You cannot be Black American if your father is from Jamaica. We're talking about the victims of chattel slavery, the real Black Americans that's been here for 400, 500
Do you
years.
think that the transatlantic slave trade only reached America?
No,
the
it also,
transatlantic slave trade also reached Jamaica. In fact, there was Irish plantation owners in Jamaica, and you know the fact of the matter is she's actually related to one. And please tell me why a Black woman would be related to an Irish slave owner reaching 4 to 5 generations back. It's because that Irish slave owner raped one of her Black ancestors that was enslaved. So
right.
when you tell me that she wasn't personally impacted by chattel slavery because her, you know, the fact that her father is from Jamaica compared to America is false. And in fact, her lineage was impacted by chattel slavery in an identical way to so
but
many
not the same way,
Black
dude.
Americans.
Not the same way, though. We are two different people. We're two different ethnic groups. Yes, we are both racially Black, but we are two different people with two different lineages. Her lineage just goes back to the Caribbean. Mine comes back to here. I have no other lineage but in America. And we are being overshadowed by immigrants that come from Jamaica or come from Africa. And these other things are mixing in with us and nobody can tell the difference. But this is the thing. You need to focus on the Black Americans that's been here for 500 years.
This is crazy.
How's that crazy?
I'm so sorry. What the fuck gives you the right to determine who is or isn't a Black American?
My
Like,
lineage gives
I'm
me
so
the right.
sorry for you to like sit here and act like you care about systemic racism and tell me that you didn't vote for the Democrat Party because they haven't done enough to address it, but then literally demean the impact that systemic racism has on Black women in America today. Going as so far
I'm
as
not
to
denying
to turn Kamala Harris into a villain because her Black ancestry originates from Jamaica, compared to America, which, by the way, Black ancestry, it did not originate in America. All right, the Black individuals that came to America were forced to come to America. So when you tell me that you don't value her Black ancestry from Jamaica because you only value Black ancestry from America, you understand that that ancestry both relates to the forced transatlantic slave trade, right? That comes from Africa.
I completely agree with you, but we are two different. That doesn't change the fact that we have two different lineages. Just because we both are, our race are Black, yes, we are both Black. Her lineage goes back to the Caribbean.
So I just want to
Doesn't go
clarify.
nowhere.
She shouldn't be considered a Black American because her ancestors were enslaved in Jamaica compared to America.
Yes, we grew up differently culturally. She grew up a Jamaican. Well, if her father was in the household, she would have grew up as a Jamaican. I am not Jamaican. I am American. I'm ethnically, culturally American.
This is some of like the craziest shit that I've ever heard. Is like Jaden, Athena, because man, I'm not gonna lie. Like I would.
You just haven't heard this point of view yet.
I would much prefer, a Black individual to have this conversation with you compared to me. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that would be significantly better.
That fit makes you feel comfortable, but we can really have this conversation. Everybody,
Santana, an individual of color, to be able to come up here. If you know where Athena, Santana, Jaden are at, please feel free to send the live to them. So you're saying that, so I have a question. So why is like lineage relevant in determining who is and isn't a Black American? Like that's like me saying, because like this white guy that lives across the street from me has lineage from Italy, he's not a white American. Like,
we are both Black, but you have to focus on the people that are been here for 500 to 400 years through chattel slavery. It doesn't make sense for you to go back and try to focus on people that didn't go through what Black Americans went through.
Wait, but her lineage did go through what Black Americans who have lineage related to chattel slavery in America went through. Like
Not just only chattel slavery.
Like once again, like her ancestors experienced chattel slavery inside of Jamaica.
Did they experience segregation? Did they experience redlining? Did they experience all these other things that we systematically experience in America?
Kamala Harris is 58 years old. Do you think that her father immigrated into America when, like 2 years before she was born? Her father experienced segregation. Her father experienced redlining. I mean, redlining still exists fucking today. So for you to say that Kamala Harris nor her family did not experience things such as legal segregation or redlining is absolutely false.
I cannot agree. I don't think she experienced that. I think she experienced a single parent household where
Wait. Her father experienced segregation as it would apply to America prior to the Civil Rights Act.
How?
Because that was when public businesses inside of America were racially segregated. You understand that like legal inequities for Black Americans only ended like 60 years ago, and that doesn't account for modern day redlining or the war on drugs.
She's East Asian. Right? Her mother's East Asian. She's not Black.
And that's why the first question that I asked you was if you know what it means to be biracial, because her father's Black and her mother's South Asian, not East Asian.
Oh, well, South Asian. Her mother wouldn't experience this.
She's in America for decades under Jim Crow era segregation.
Right. Well, a East Asian lady going through Jim Crow is not the same as me going through Jim Crow.
Her father, a Black man, was living in America for decades under Jim Crow era segregation.
Is he living in America now?
I'm pretty sure Donald. Yeah, because he ended up being a professor at some California Institute. Donald Harris, where does he live? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, he retired in 2015, and he has a residence in D.C. Yeah.
Can you search when he came to America while you're on your computer?
Let's see. Okay, so Harris arrived at the University of California, Berkeley, in the fall of 1961.
1961. Okay, I guess he would have experienced some type of segregation if he was in the country in 1961.
Thank
But
you.
still, that's not the majority of Jamaicans. He experienced it himself personally. Most Jamaicans, most of the people in her lineage never experienced that. So we are not the same people. She's a whole different ethnic group.
Okay, so I just want to clarify. You're trying to segregate Kamala Harris outside of the category of being considered a black woman because of a difference in ethnicity?
I'm segregating her from claiming my ethnicity.
This is this is like I can't even like believe I'm just so
You just haven't heard this
what
point
do
of
you
view
what do
yet.
you need? So in order to be a black American, you need to be directly related to enslaved Africans as a result of the
Yes, if
transatlantic slave trade in America. Why is that?
your lineage goes back to chattel slavery and your family has been in America, they fought in World War I, World War II, Civil War.
Okay, so why do you believe that? Why do you think that that is required to be a black American?
Because
when I hear the term black American, what I automatically think about is a black individual that's American.
that's wrong. That's a wrong thing to think because that's like thinking like
And I'm asking you why.
okay, that's like thinking like most white tea people. They think like all black people are the same, but
Wait,
we're
I
obviously
have a
not.
question. What's a white American?
A white American is a European. Or not? No, a Saxon.
Wait, were you
Anglo-Saxon.
about to say like
Anglo-Saxon.
a white person that's an American? Wait, am I fair to assume that a white American is a white individual that's an American?
Yeah, but you can't say you're a black American.
So if a white American is a white individual that's an American, why is a black American not a black individual that's an American?
Because you don't differentiate off ethnicity.
You don't Okay, well,
Like
if
you
you're
don't
what?
like let me explain this. Okay, so we have different ethnic groups. When you go to Africa, you have Nigerians. When you go to Africa, you have Ghanaians. When you have UK Black Brits. These are whole different ethnic groups. You cannot come to America and try to blend into the Black American ethnic group when you're not a part of it. That's all her campaign
So
ran on.
I'd like to clarify that there is white individuals from Italy. There's white individuals from France. There's white individuals from Russia. There's white individuals from Norway. But regardless if you're a white individual from Italy, France, Russia, or Norway, and you immigrate into America, and you are an American, you are thereby a white American. And I find that to be like even like more abundantly clear when you're a white individual born in America. I'm really confused here. So you accept that logic, but you don't accept it as it would relate to black Americans. Are you like saying that you want to have a different classification of what a black American is and isn't, predicated on like a shared identity of having ancestors that were victimized via white supremacy under the slave trade?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You have to be
You
a part of
don't
the
even
group.
uphold that. You don't even uphold that because it is a
But no,
case that
that's
Kamala
what I'm saying.
Harris's black ancestors were victimized via the slave trade, and the slave trade reached many other areas than just
Not in
America.
America, not in
So
the
for you to
United
make the
States of
argument that it's
America.
predicated on the existence of a correlate to ancestry in America is now contradictory to your new position.
Okay, let me rephrase that. You said that white Americans, when you immigrate over from Russia or Italy, you come to America and you are a white American. I will disagree. You're not looked at as the same as the white people that were already here. You're looked at as a Russian. You're looked at as a Italian.
Okay.
You're not looked at as the same.
So on one side of my family, I had I've relationship. I think my great grandmother on my father's side of my family immigrated from Wales. So am I not a white American since my great grandmother immigrated on my dad's side immigrated from Wales?
You said your family immigrated over here when?
Well, on my dad's side, My great grandmother immigrated here from Wales at a young age.
Okay, so you're half Anglo-Saxon, half Wales. Then yeah, you would be considered a white American because part of your family has been here since chattel slavery.
Oh, so you're only a white American if you have relations back to as a white individual back to chattel slavery. That's your
No,
argument.
back to the 13 colonies were created.
Okay. So if a British family were to pick up all their shit and move to America today in 200 years, let's just assume that they're 100% inbred. Okay, in 200 years, this family would not be white Americans.
If they immigrated straight from Britain, no, they're British. Their whole lineage comes from Britain.
Jesus Christ. Oh, Santana is in the queue. Bryn, thank you so much for the manifesting. Welcome in, Santana. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Dean. How are you?
Man, I've not too good, Santana. I have had a day. And Santana, I would love for you to talk to Cameron. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of like overreaching now as a white guy. Please, I want to give you the mic.
It's all good, Dean. Listen, I appreciate you so much, Dean. Yeah, I feel like they've made me dumber today. I do. I'm not even gonna lie, Dean. I feel like they have. Cameron, how are you, my friend?
How are you, sir? I'm good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Cameron, what's going on?
What's going on? What? He just doesn't. He doesn't understand my Well, I think he understands it, but he just doesn't really want to talk about it because he's Caucasian.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm willing to talk about it. Tell me your thoughts.
I mean, where do you want to start?
Wherever you want to go, my friend.
Okay, let's just catch Santana up to speed. So, he doesn't think that Kamala Harris is a black American.
Oh my God.
And the reason he doesn't think that Kamala Harris is a black American is because what I've been able to get off of him so far is in order to be a black American, you have to have direct relation to ancestry of enslaved African individuals in America.
Oh, so he used the caveat that it has to be in America. So that's your premise. Your premise is because her ancestry, as far as enslaved Africans, aren't directly connected to America. That means she's not Black American.
Correct.
So what you're saying is that it doesn't matter that the basis of slavery, those Black people coming from Africa and hitting multiple countries, they don't share that common ancestry. It doesn't matter that they share that common ancestry. For you, it's the fact that her ancestors weren't slaves in America. They were slaves in Jamaica. So that doesn't make her Black.
Yeah, we're two different cultures.
That's absolutely insane.
We're two different ethnic. Hold on.
That's insane.
We're two different ethnic groups. She's Caribbean.
Hey, what is race based off of?
You said what is race based off of?
Yes.
Your skin?
Phenotypical characteristics.
Yeah.
So do Black people in Jamaica?
She's just not Black American. That's the whole point.
Okay, cool. Where was she born?
Jamaica, maybe? I don't really know.
California.
No. Where was she born and raised?
I don't know. I don't really know much about her.
Berkeley, California.
Yeah. Specifically the area Oakland, right? Born and raised in Oakland, California. Cameron, do you know what college she went to?
You gonna tell me she went to an HBCU that
No.
Black American?
I'm asking specifically, do you know which HBCU she went to?
No, I don't know what HBCU.
Cool. She went to Howard University. Howard University is not a HBCU. Howard University is the HBCU. As someone that actually went to an HBCU, Howard University is the most prestigious HBCU in this country. Cool. Do you know what sorority she's a member of?
Isn't it like, what is it?
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the oldest and first Black sorority in this country. And as a member of the Divine Nine, I am a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I understand what it means to actually go to Howard University and actually join the first and oldest Black sorority and join their Alpha chapter. That means that is the first chapter. That was the first place. That's where the actual sorority was founded. So not only did she go to the most prestigious black college in the country and join the oldest black sorority in their first ever chapter, but she then went on to caucus with a certain caucus in the Senate. Who did she caucus with in the Senate?
Sir, this is all
Who did she
great,
caucus with in the
great
Senate?
and dandy.
Who
But
did she
why,
caucus with in the Senate?
who gave her this opportunity to do
Who
all
did
this?
she caucus with in the Senate?
I don't know.
The Congressional Black Caucus. So you're telling me this woman who has an Afro-Jamaican father, which we do understand that those same people came from African enslavement, but she grew up in Oakland, California. She went to the prestigious HBCU while joining an actual the oldest black sorority, and then continued to actually caucus with the Black Congressional Caucus while in the Senate. You're telling me that this woman, one, is not black, and two, has not leaned into being black at every single aspect of her life. Are you fucking kidding me?
Do you think being a black American is a culture?
I think that it's multifaceted, and I think that Kamala Harris absolutely meets every single marker that makes her a black American, including having the phenotypical characteristics to be a black American.
But did you go? That's crazy. That would mean that black Americans here don't have their own ethnic group.
Cool. So are you telling me? Wait. So is your premise that Kamala Harris is not a part of the culture? Is that your point?
Yes, she's a second generation American.
But wait. So you're saying that Kamala Harris is not a part of the culture?
No, she was raised by an East Asian lady.
Cool. So you tell me that Kamala Harris is not a part of the culture while leaning into the culture in multiple facets, whether we talk about her making sure that she spends time interviewing with the Breakfast Club, whether that's her actually making sure that she partakes when at the White House, that she took specifically a part of the actual Black History Month and attending the actual the event where black people were brought into the White House. There's multiple aspects that she has shown that not only is she in the culture, but she is of the culture. Have you seen this woman do the wobble? Dean, do you know what the wobble is? Hold on one second, Cameron. Hold on one second, Cameron. Dean, do you know what the wobble is?
I do not know what the wobble
Okay, cool. Yeah, Kamala Harris can wobble. Anyway, Cameron, go ahead.
I'm going to go grab a cup of water. I will be right back.
You're good. You're good, Dean.
I heard that. Is that cultural? Is that
you heard what?
I heard her say she washes bathtub. Is that a part of the culture?
How many greens have you actually watched in a large amount? Because
sink.
again, cool. If you're washing greens enough, yes, you wash greens in the sink. You wash greens in the sink. But if you are cooking a super large amount, it's not unforeseen to actually quote unquote wash them in the bathtub. Listen, I don't know what you've done in your life. I'm actually, hey, chat. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm black. I'm black, right? I'm blackity black. I have washed way more than greens in the bathtub, right? You know, so there's that, right? I've also grew up where I'm not privileged, and I had to actually wash clothes in the bathtub. So please don't spare me on her saying that she washed greens in the bathtub. Like,
is that
stop it.
Culturally that you have done, if you are a black American, is that something you culturally have ever done?
Listen, the simple fact of the matter is that you're up here and you're attacking the actual. You're attacking a black woman by saying that she's not black, which is absolutely insane.
Saying she's not black. She is black, but she is not black American. It's a cultural difference.
Yeah, again, I've already spoke to how she is and a part of the culture. So what's your next argument? That's absolutely insane.
Here go my next argument.
Do you want to know?
Who gave her the opportunity to do all those things that you just listed?
Can I just real quick? I want to repeat the first reason that he gave to me, insofar as why he voted for Trump. So he told us that he voted for Trump because the Democrats have not done enough for Black Americans, and that apparently that like logically entails that like Trump is much better for the Black community in America.
I never said that. I never said Trump is better. I said.
Well, answer the question. Why did you vote for Trump?
Can you answer my question first?
What's your question?
I said, who gave her the opportunity to do all those great things that she came to America to do? Who gave her that opportunity?
I'm not understanding the premise of your question.
She is a second generation American. Before 1960s and civil rights, No black immigrants were even allowed in the country like that. So who gave her the
Wait, what?
the-
Wait,
who
wait,
gave
wait,
her
wait,
the
wait, wait, wait. Say
opportunity?
it. So wait. Say that statement again.
I said before the civil rights movement, black people were not could largely immigrate to America. Who gave her the
Her father
opportunity
immigrated to America prior to the
immigrate to
Civil Rights
America?
Act.
What? Where are you getting this information, friend?
Who gave her the
Wait. No.
opportunity to immigrate to
Where are you
America?
getting this information?
What do you mean? Where am I getting this information?
Where are you getting this information that prior to the Civil Rights Act, that black immigrants could not actually come into the country?
I never said they couldn't. I said they weren't in large number. They weren't allowed in
So
large.
are you saying that the fact that prior to civil rights that that racism was more rampant and it made it harder for black immigrants to come into the country? Because I'll agree with that. But
Yes.
specifically, are there laws? Are you referring to laws that actually stop them from immigrating?
Yes, who protested?
Wait. So you were there laws stopping them from coming into the country?
Who protested and gave them the right to immigrate over here and gave it to and had it acceptable for black people to immigrate to America?
Are you referring to the Republican Party?
I'm referring to Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, black Americans who fought for them to come over here to America, fought for people that had my skin color to be seen as equal.
Okay, so what's your point?
She's not black American. That's my point. If it wasn't for black Americans, she would never even have done that in the beginning. She wouldn't even be here.
Listen, I'm going to say this, and I would really love to hear you move to why you voted for Trump, because I'm sorry, but your actual talking points are dumb. And I'm just going to say it as nice as I can. It's dumb. It's dumb because you're sitting up here in front of 8.4 thousand people trying to actually, for some weird reason, explain to us why Kamala Harris is not quote unquote black American, even though she was born in America, even though she has a black father, Afro-Jamaican, even though we've spoken to her lineage as far as the multiple things that she's done to embrace not only black America, black culture, and also we've talked about how she leans into it every opportunity we can. Cool. Kamala Harris isn't the president. Kamala Harris isn't even a candidate anymore. You voted for Donald Timothy Trump. Tell me, why did you do that?
Why? I voted for Donald Trump because the Democratic Party has not done anything for black Americans for the past any anything that's specific for black Americans.
Cool. What has the Republican Party or Donald Trump done that makes you believe that they are doing anything or have done anything specifically for black Americans? So you're saying that the the Democratic Party hasn't done so. Cool. We can talk about that, but cool. What has Donald Trump done or the Trump administration done to actually benefit black Americans that earned your vote?
He acknowledges that we're here. He talks about black people. Democrats don't talk about black people.
Cool. So you're saying the fact that he's performative, that was enough to get your vote?
He acknowledges that we are here.
Okay, cool. So the only thing that the 34 count rapist who's is known to be a sexist, a racist, he meets all 14 tenets of fascism. The only thing that he needed to do to get your vote, to be able to actively harm millions of Americans, strip away rights, take away social safety nets, the only thing that he had to do is say that black people are here, and that was good enough for you.
For him to acknowledge that we were here and that we needed attention and needed to be focused on. Yes.
Wait. When did Donald Trump make this acknowledgement?
Black jobs. He said they're taking black jobs. He acknowledged that the black job. Well, I don't know why people get mad at that.
What's a black job?
Focus on black jobs.
What's a black job?
Number one focus.
What's a black job?
A job that majority black people you feel me?
Hey, Cameron, I got a question for you.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God! Stop you fucking lying!
Cameron,
my fucking brain hurts.
Cameron,
my brain hurts.
Listen, listen, Cameron.
No,
Cameron, you know what Donald Trump thinks a black job is? He thinks that black people are still sharecroppers. That's why he said that. Because specifically, because specifically, we know that undocumented immigrants are coming over and they prop up multiple industries, including the service industry. They also prop up the construction industry, and they also prop up the service, construction, and farming. Right. So we know that for a fact. And so he said, quote unquote, black jobs. Well, we also know that black people, more so specifically black women, shout out to black women in the chat. Shout out to the 92%. Black women are the most educated group in the United States. They are getting degrees at a higher clip than anyone else. So when you talk about black jobs, specifically black women are setting the tempo for black jobs to be jobs that are high paying, for them to be entrepreneurs. No, immigrants are not quote unquote taking black jobs.
There needs to be a middle class. Not everybody can be that successful. Not everybody has the money to go to college. You have to have a middle class.
Cool.
Middle class people can I
agree with you, Cameron. What are they doing to strengthen the middle class?
What is the Republicans doing?
Sure.
Yeah. What does Trump want to do to strengthen the middle class?
I couldn't tell you that. I honestly
Did you know that his economic policy only benefits individuals with a net income of over $395,000 annually, and anybody making under that dollar amount is actually negatively impacted by his economic policy when we consider his tariffs? And my source for this claim would be the Institute on Economics and Taxation. So when you tell me that there needs to be a middle class, it's very important. Not everybody's rich. Not everybody could go to college. Well, it is the case that Donald Trump is actively working to disenfranchise and destroy said middle class, and even disproportionately more so lower income Americans. And yeah, those are the facts.
Hey, Dean, fun fact, did you know that Kamala Harris actually had a plan to remove the restrictions or the mandate needed for government jobs to have a college degree, therefore freeing up those people that had certain certificates or training to actually allow them to take over the government jobs, propel themselves into a higher income bracket, and then also setting the example for the private sector to do the same thing, that way actually strengthening the middle class. But Donald Trump didn't have anything like that.
Not to mention that government jobs encompass about 14.5% of the workforce.
Okay, you're talking about middle class.
Impact.
My reason on voting for him was not because of the middle class. It was because of black people.
You brought up the middle class. You said that.
Can I also just bring up the point?
I said that.
Wait. I just want to bring up the point. So, like, the average socioeconomic standing of a black American is much lower than that of the average white American because of slavery and its aftermath of systemic racism following slavery. And when we are discussing, like one politician advocating for policy to uplift low and middle class Americans. Meanwhile, another candidate is actively working to harm, destroy, and disenfranchise low-income and middle-class Americans, that is going to disproportionately harm black Americans. So you're like, I voted for Trump to help black Americans. Well, it is the case that his policy and agenda as a whole disproportionately harms black Americans.
What would the Democratic Party would have helped? How would the Democratic Party would have helped?
Black Americans, yes. Specifically, Kamala Harris mapped out a specific plan. There were so many black men crying.
Are you talking about that black list that she came up with? Like,
hey, Cameron, are you gonna let me answer your question?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Black men were whining and crying and saying that Kamala Harris wasn't doing anything for them, even though Kamala Harris had multiple times said, understanding that actually benefiting a whole, as far as helping everyone, it would raise all boats, and that we didn't specifically have to target black Americans because black Americans put so much back into the economy. But she went above and beyond and actually made a specific plan with multiple points as far as how she would actually benefit black men, which included giving them a pathway to multiple avenues of entrepreneurship, also addressing their mental health, and also helping with the actual legalized or getting into the legalized Mary Jane industry, which is booming now. So she specifically had a plan. Listen, she had a plan for everything, but you didn't care about the plan because she was a black woman. For some reason, you decided that you wanted to lean into voting for the 34 count felon because you thought that it was a better deal because Democrats Democrats don't do anything for black people without actually knowing anything or doing any research.
So when the black Americans came up to her and said, "Are you going to do anything for black people?" and she said, "Oh, I'm not going to do anything specifically for black
Specific.
people." Is that not a problem for you?
No. Did you listen to her
Why
entire
not?
quote? Did you listen to her entire quote?
That is the quote I heard.
No, it's not. That's not the whole quote. Did you listen to the entire quote? And first of all, no one came up to her. It was an interview. It was a question that was asked. And she said more than that. Did you listen to what she just said?
What did she say? All I needed to hear is that she's not doing anything specific for black people.
Specific with an S, my friend. P is an O. That's the ocean. It's a S.
I have a list.
Wait,
That's all I need to know.
yo, what if like, wait, okay, let's just accept that she wasn't gonna do anything specific for black individuals in America today. We do know it's the case that still yet black individuals would have been worse off under a Trump presidency compared to a Kamala Harris presidency. So like we could say that we want better out of like, you know, the candidates running for presidency. We wish that Kamala Harris would have ran on a policy that was specific to that was specifically designed to uplift you know, black individuals in America. And I can even agree. To
That's
that.
her
I think
strongest
that we
voting
discussed that
bloc.
earlier. However, it is the case that we should take the candidate that has policy that will indirectly disproportionately benefit black Americans compared to policy that will directly disproportionately disenfranchise black Americans. We understand that, right?
I don't see the difference between the two.
What? Because one hurts, one helps. Hello?
One doesn't help. She never helped anybody.
Wait, yes, no. When we pass tax policy that uplifts like low income and middle class Americans, that'll disproportionately help black Americans because of differences in socioeconomic standings as a result of slavery and its aftermath. When we
But don't you
reinstitute
think
and
something?
codify federal protections for every single woman and girl to have access to abortion, this is going to disproportionately help black women in America today, as it is the case that 55% of respondents on exit polls after they've received an abortion indicate that the reason that they did so was because of financial instability. And this just once again relates to the difference in standings of socioeconomics, comparing the average white American and the average black American, once again relating right back to systemic racism. So it is the case that yes, right, Kamala Harris's policy would have indirectly benefited black Americans. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's directly hurts black Americans. And I feel like there's a huge difference between those two things. And if you don't know the difference between hurting black Americans and helping black Americans, then I'm really not too convinced that you care that much about black Americans.
The Democratic Party has been in office for a long time, and the black community has not grown. It's not grown. They have not prioritized them. They have not prioritized us. That is
Cameron,
a problem.
I'm going to repeat this one last time. I can agree, okay? For the last time, I'm going to agree, all right? But once again, all right, let's say that we'll take the party that is going to indirectly benefit black Americans over the party that's going to directly hurt black Americans. Like, would you rather the candidate that was slightly better for black Americans or the candidate that was much worse for black Americans? What's better, a little bit of progression or a lot of regression?
I need the Democrats to hear.
You're not answering my question. What's better, a little bit of progression or a lot of regression?
I wouldn't call it a lot of regression. I mean, right now, black Americans are doing fine.
Any amount of regression. Would you prefer a little bit of progression or any amount of regression?
I would sacrifice a little bit of regression for Democrats to finally acknowledge their strongest.
Sure. So, Cameron, take a whole step back and listen to the question that Dean is asking, right? And I want you to really think about this. I want you to really think about
He
this.
just answered it. He just answered it. No, he said that he wants regression for black Americans. Right?
A little bit.
So the Democrat Party will
acknowledge the strongest voting bloc.
That's fucking crazy.
It's insane. It's insane. So your thought process is harming everyone will justify your possibility of helping black America, even though we know that the Republican Party has done nothing to actually benefit black American. Hell, the Republican Party hasn't done anything to actually benefit everyday Americans in a long time. But your premise is that you can somehow, quote unquote, force the Democrats to actually change and listen to
There needs to be a change. There needs to be a change.
Why? If you're not voting for
If
them,
they're
then
not
why
getting
would
it
they
right
listen to
now,
you?
something has
If
to
you're not
happen.
voting for them, then why are they listening to you? How did that work out for anyone that had protest votes? That was actually protest voting and said, "Oh, I'm going to vote for Jill Stein because I want, them to protect Palestine." Where Kamala Harris was offering a two-state solution, where Donald Trump was saying that he wanted to actually give Israel Palestine. Like, how did that benefit? It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. That's insane.
How did giving $105 billion to Ukraine benefit black people?
Again, 184.8 billion, but again, that has nothing to do with it. The money comes out of the DoD budget.
Wouldn't it have been great if they would have put that back into the American people, back to the black population? Why are they sending it overseas?
Real quick, could we agree that there was a lot of white supremacists in America that only voted for Trump to regress black communities across America?
Yeah, the first time I said I know there's white
agree on that?
supremacists in the conservative party. I know that's why I'm independent.
Yeah. So, what is the distinction in the material consequence of a KKK member's vote for Trump and your vote for Trump? Because both of you guys voted for Trump to regress black individuals in America. Seemingly, the only difference here is your intention, right?
But you can't contribute.
Do you think that intentions can be morally relevant to the evaluation of the morality or immorality of an action, and if we should consider it to be a tremendous harm for a white supremacist to vote for Trump to regress black Americans? Although we could recognize that you don't possess the same intention as the white supremacist, seemingly you're still perpetuating a lot of material harm
to black people.
Yeah.
I don't see it that way. I see it as a way I do see it as.
How can the KKK member be perpetuating material harm, but you're not perpetuating material harm?
Because
even though you guys are engaging in the same action for the same reason.
White supremacists are delusional. They think that they represent who's in office.
Wait, are you calling it delusional to vote for a candidate to regress black Americans?
Also, I was going to say, what's the difference between their delusion and your delusion? Because it kind of seems similar to me right now.
I don't think the Republican Party
you're very delusional.
The Democratic Party.
You're very delusional because you think that your vote for Donald Trump did anything outside of strengthening the Republican Party, Donald Trump's hold, and harming multiple people. Your vote didn't help black America. Your vote hurt black America.
I don't think of it like that. I think Democrats needed a wake-up call, and losing the election is giving them their wake-up call, and they're coming at it from new angles and trying to strengthen their reach.
Listen,
they gotta look at what
you're absolutely right. The Democratic Party needs reform. The Democratic Party needs a change of pace. They need an understanding as far as their messaging. They need to lean into certain people like AOC, like Jasmine Crockett. They need to lean into the youth movement. Not actually.
I agree.
How about we discuss who needs the wake-up call more? The Democrats or the Republicans? Sure, Democrats need a wake-up call. But I'd say with this binary choice of Democrats or Republicans, and we are going to vote in protest of the party who needs the wake-up call to a higher degree, who needs the wake-up call more? The party that hasn't directly focused on black Americans enough, or the party that has directly focused on harming black Americans? Because at the end of the day, if all that you care about is a higher quality of life for black individuals in America today, wouldn't you have voted for the Democrat Party to hopefully give a wake-up call to the Republicans? What if we just turned this around? Voted against the Republicans so they can have a wake-up call to see, recognize, hear, and understand that they need to advocate for policy that's good for all Americans, not just rich white guys. What about that?
We did that with Biden. We did that with Biden, and it did not work. It did not work. It was
so if it didn't work on the Republicans, why do you think it'd work on the Democrats?
Because I believe in the Democratic Party. I believe in their intentions. I think they have good intentions, but they need a wake up call. They need to focus on their strongest
So,
voting
okay,
bloc.
cool. Question. What are you doing to provide that wake up call? You specifically, outside
Voting
of
for
throwing away your
Donald
vote,
Trump.
outside of
That's what
throwing away your vote, specifically, what are you doing?
for a wake up call for the Democrats.
Yes, specifically, what are you doing?
I mean, what are they doing? What
No,
do
no,
I
no,
need
no,
to
no,
do?
no, 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 no,
Why
no,
would
no,
I
no,
need to
no,
do
no,
it?
no, 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 my friend. You are sitting here saying that the Democratic Party needs a wake-up call. I agree with you, right? But you, the only thing that you've done was throw away your vote and harm other people. So what are you doing specifically to give that wake-up call to the Democratic Party? Are you calling your local elected officials? Are you actually trying to schedule appointments with members of the Democratic Party? Are you out actually stomping? Are you out running for office, trying to take people out of power that are established Democrats and they aren't going to be beneficial to everyday Americans? What are you doing that actually is going to change the Democratic Party besides throwing away your vote and harming millions of Americans because you don't understand how things work?
I think that me voting for the Republican Party.
Hey, Cameron. Hey,
Hold
Cameron.
on, let me finish.
Hey, Cameron.
Can I finish?
I promise you it doesn't matter what you think. What are you doing?
I mean, the Democrats losing the election, a reparation bill got introduced, right? So something changed, right?
No. Where's their reparation bill?
Started talking about reparations, right?
You do understand that Kamala Harris. You do understand that Kamala Harris was saying that she was going to commission a study to actually see about reparations. You tell me specifically, where is there a reparation bill?
I mean, yeah, commission a study. That's what they did.
You do understand that there has to be a study commission before anything can actually happen. You do understand that's how it works.
It's been a commission before, right? And they didn't want to go along with that, right? There's been a study before. It didn't.
Sure. Can you show me where it was done?
There's been a study before. They've already tried.
Can you substantiate that?
It was a lie.
Can you substantiate that?
I cannot substantiate that. But
Okay,
I do believe that
there was an actual study that was commissioned within California, and they actually verified that yes, reparations are needed for Black Americans, and they actually the only reason that they didn't follow through with that actual information is because the actual opportunity for reparations nationwide was on the table. And so if California went through with their reparations for Black Americans, then it would harm and limit the ability to get one passed on a nationwide level.
I have a question. How do you feel about all the harm generated by the Trump administration outside of the harm we've already went over as it would impact Black Americans? Like, do you just think that's kind of just harm that had to happen?
You talking about harm for like LBG,
Yeah, the further perpetuation of homophobia in America today, the further perpetuation of sexism, grape culture in America today. This call for ethnic cleansing, annexation, and ownership of the Gaza Strip, impacting 1.4 million individuals. 77 million American women that no longer have access to abortion, which, by the way, does impact Black women. The 60 great victims per day that are denied access to abortion, which, by the way, does impact Black women. And all that, it just had to happen, right?
Abortion isn't illegal. It's not illegal. You can still get abortion.
Cameron, what the fuck? Abortion is banned outright, even in circumstances of rape in 12 states. And 1 out of 3 women of reproductive age in America today don't have elective access to abortion either. 77 million
I agree with
American
that.
girls. So it
But
is illegal.
it's not
77
illegal.
million American girls, yes. False.
But it's not illegal.
Indeed,
it's
it is.
illegal for some people.
It is illegal for 77 million American women and girls, yep.
But yeah, I'm only focused on my people. It's like saying
because it
on
only
fire,
matters
and I'm
about
worried
you.
about-
Because
I'm
you
worried
only
about
care
other
about you.
people.
You specifically
My
only
house is
care
on
about
fire.
you.
I have to prioritize my people. my house.
Cameron, you are willing to sacrifice everyone else
For
for you.
Yes, for my people.
For you. That's insane.
Not for me, for my people.
No.
for Black Americans.
No, because you're not.
Everybody's been
Listen, you
prioritized.
can't say.
They've
Did
been
you even hear what
prioritized.
Dean just said?
Immigrants, they've been
You
prioritized.
cannot say that you're actually doing anything for Black people when there's other policies like outlawing AB that will harm Black women. You can't do that. You can't be for parts of the Black people, but not for all of the Black. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. I just Santana, is there anything else you want to go over?
Nope, not at all, Dean. Not one thing.
Great, man. That guy's fucking crazy. Absolutely
Holy
nuts.
smokes.
Literally just nuts. Like literally just fucking insane. Absolutely nuts. I can't even like. My brain, man. It's just shot. Like I'm coming up on like 3 hours on the stream. I feel like I've been live for 12, dude.
Bro, same. I literally just finished mine, and I was just telling my chat, like, I feel dumber after these conversations. Like, I don't know what's happening.
A little bit. So you want to hang out up here for a little bit?
Yeah, I'll hang out.
I'll
hang out. Can I shout out a few people, because your people have been going insane.
Yeah, I got a couple people to thank as well.
You go first. It's your show.
No. Let me get a next guest up in here, and while I'm doing that, please feel free to thank your donors.
Okay, and guys, I'm just gonna say thank you, and I'll read the message later because there's a lot of messages. Michael, thank you for the 3. Carissa, thank you for the 10. Sela, thank you for the 5. Roxy, thank you for the 1. Venus, thank you for the 1. Jay, thank you for the 10. Zahara, thank you for the 2. Bentley, thank you for the $25, saying thank you for educating and laboring today. Absolutely. Thank you for that $25. Atrice, thank you for the 10. Gwen, thank you for the 10. Spork, what up, Spork? Thank you for the 5. Addie, thank you for the 5. And absolutely, guys, a million W's in the chat for Jody. Thank you for the $50 for the emotional labor. I appreciate you more. Thank you.